I get a call middle of January from my boy Ray from the Stereotypes. He's like, yo, he wants you to come on down. He's working on some stuff, some choir stuff. Just, pull up. And I was like, oh, what? You done stumbled into praise and worship with Kanye West for real? The guy that made Jesus Walks?
Yeah.
That one phone call, damn, it changed my whole life again.
Go. Go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Sitting with me is an incredible artist, songwriter. He's had an amazing journey. I would say, short-lived California journey. He's done a whole lot and a whole little. We're going to dive into that. He's done everything. Dude, you've done too much too soon, okay? We're going to, ladies and gentlemen, make a ton of noise for Ant Clemons.
Yeah, that's a ton of noise. That's a ton of noise.
What's up, bro?
What up, Elmo? How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Good.
Thanks for coming over.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. We
Happy
did
to
it.
be here.
We did it. Man, so this is going to be a catch-up session.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I remember, so the first time we met was the first time I saw you, which was 2019, back in the early Sunday service days. When Kanye was starting it, putting it together back at the house, the studio house, in the yard, which was a super magical time. Absolutely. And I remember I was so happy to be there. Happy to be here.
Oh, that's good.
And I remember, it was like all the drummers, the choir. But then in the middle, there's like Kanye and this guy in this red beanie with the smile. And I was like, who is that guy? I didn't know who you were. And I was like, okay, he's clearly a part of the show. He's a part of the energy. He's a part of the vibe. Because so much of it was, so much Kanye would dip in and out, right? So much of it was everybody else. That was like such a beautiful thing about Sunday service. So that was when we first met. And I was just like, who are you, man?
And I'm like, hi, I'm Ant.
And then you're like, hey, I'm Ant. I'm like, okay. And then I just see you all the time, everywhere on everything. And I was like, where did he come from? Then you're like, I'm going to drop an album. You drop an album and you got the Grammy nomination for your debut album. I'm like, who is this guy?
God is good. God is so good.
Dude, so how did you, because you're from New Jersey.
From Williamsburg, New Jersey.
How did you go from moving here in 2017, right, to Kanye Sunday Service 2019?
Yes.
So fast. Just that, because I know you moved here with nothing.
Tried to figure it out.
Talent and a smile.
Just $1 and a dream. And God's promised to me that anything could happen and all things were possible through him that strengthened me. So I was like, all things, God? He said, all things. So I was like, all right, let me figure this out. Let me align myself with your purpose and get to where I need to be. My mom and my dad were the greatest in the world. Yeah. In 2009, they went through a divorce. Yeah. And it was like the worst shit in the world. Because it's like, where do I go? Do I go to my mom's or go to my dad's? And I'll end up at my dad's house for a little bit. And then life would just take me to my mom's crib. Yeah. So as I got to my mom's house, I'm linked up with a whole bunch of friends and a whole bunch of homies. And we were always writing songs, trying to figure out different ways to express ourselves. And it was just like, you know what? This is the thing that I love to do. I love producing. I love songwriting. I love doing all of the parts of just making music. But telling the stories was my favorite thing. Yeah. So I decided, with permission from my mom, to take her rent money. I went to California with $1 and a dream. And by the grace of God, everything aligned the way it was supposed to. And although I could sit here and tell you the exact steps, it was this person and that person. A series of events of... All of it was the entire journey. So how'd I get from Jersey to Kanye? Persistence, God, hard work, and not taking no for an answer. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot to learn and be inspired by from your story, especially because, how many people move to LA with their talent and like a hope, right? And, and like for you to get, I just knew because I discovered you 2019 at the beginning of 2019 with Sunday Service. So I was like, I didn't know that you had been here for 2 years or 5 years or 10 years or 2 days. I was just like, who's this guy in the red beanie with the smile? And then I found out that it was like 2 years into your LA journey, which is really fast. Yeah. That's really fast. And especially like coming here with like really no real connections, right? You just came here with talent. It seems like a lot of people can be inspired from coming here with really nothing, no connections, just like talent and like perseverance and like drive. And so to get from, of course, there's all the things of sleeping on couches, all that stuff, but it's like,
Yeah, what were the series of events like, or at least like the main ones that helped like make you realize that, oh, I'm on my path. I'm on my path.
Okay, so it gets dark. It starts dark, but it gets light.
Yeah. It's okay.
The first one was, wow, I can't afford a place to stay out here.
Yeah.
I know this is the dream I have, but I can't really afford it.
Yeah.
I had to change my mindset
Yeah,
from
yeah,
what
yeah.
I couldn't afford to what can I have
Yeah.
and what can I ask the Lord for. And changing my mindset changed everything.
Yeah.
So it went from, yes, I know I can't physically afford these things, but I'm going to ask the Lord to provide these things
Wow.
as opposed to me trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So name a target. I put it and gave it to the Lord. And
Yeah.
it's like, how do I maneuver myself in a way that's pleasing to you and gets the job done?
Yeah.
Align my steps, make this thing work. And if it's not for me, let it not be for me.
Yeah.
I literally just put my head down, didn't take no for an answer. And everything I thought I couldn't do, I made myself overly accountable to do.
Wow.
Like,
I
it
love
was really, really a rough thing, really
Yeah.
rough decision to
Yeah.
make. But once I decided, it was just easy from there.
Wow. That's incredible, like self-will to be able to even have that and put it on that, but then follow through with it.
Well, I look at all of my favorite people that
Yeah.
I've been inspired by. They didn't really make excuses. They made plans of action and followed plans and made it happen. I wanted to be someone that people want to be like, someone that inspired people to let them know that although you have a dream, it's not unrealistic unless you make it unrealistic.
Right.
And I wanted to put the work in. I just kept working, and I'm still putting the work in. I'm still nowhere near where I want to be. But it was not taking no for an answer. You're just a songwriter. No. You're just an artist. No.
Mm-hmm.
You're just a producer.
Yeah.
No. You're just not fitting in boxes.
Yeah.
Helped me a lot. I became what anyone needed me to be in a room.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing was coming from Jersey to coming to California. It was a blessing, but I realized, I was like, wow, a lot of people out here don't work the same that I did back home.
Yeah.
A lot of the sessions were kind of like parties, kind of just like, this is the hang spot.
Yeah.
And I love to hang, but I like to work.
Yeah.
So I came out here to work and to be one of the best. So
Yeah.
I'm like, where do I get in? How do I get to the place where I'm just not partying at the studio all the time?
Yeah.
Where are the people where are the real tastemakers that I'm inspiring to be like? Where are they maneuvering? Where are they sitting? Where are they spending their time? And I just studied like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I'm a forever student.
Yeah.
Like, I love Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And I'm a super huge fan of Michael. And one of my biggest things that I took from Michael Jackson is just his ability to be a student.
Yeah.
Like, he was studying to the day he passed away.
Yeah.
So it's like, I like for my legacy to be of someone that, that represented what God called them to do.
Yeah.
But then someone that was very, very, very persistent and very relentless for exactly what it is that the Lord put in his heart to do.
That's
which
amazing.
is to make change in this world
Yeah.
and to be that change.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So this this positive mindset, does it just come naturally to you, or?
it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
So naturally, because I was blessed with two loving parents,
Yeah.
naturally I lean on the way I was brought up, and it's to give things to the Lord, to try not to deal with your anger, try not to deal with the things that you can't control. But I'm human.
Yeah.
And in my 32 years of being on this earth, I found that it's a better choice to be happy. So it's an easier choice to be happy. And it just, positivity, although it's not like the cool thing. Like, when I came out here in California, I got a red hat on and I'm smiling. Like,
Yeah.
I don't fit in, not necessarily. It's like, oh, this isn't the norm of what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But a welcoming smile has welcomed me into a lot of rooms, a lot of different places, just because this is who I naturally am. I love smiling. I love being happy. I work hard at keeping my smile and keeping my happiness, because it's a choice and it's an everyday thing. But at the same time, I'm just enjoying the journey right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I resonate with that a lot. as a fellow happy person.
Yes.
That puts in the work to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chooses. It's crazy how much your mind thinks differently just a second, even if you force yourself to smile.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything really does change.
Every
your
time.
thought changes, the action changes, the energy that you put off to other people then changes them.
Yeah.
Overall, I feel a lot of stress in the creative world right now from a lot of friends and even on myself. Like, I feel like, I don't know what it is. There's definitely a new energy. There's a new market. There's a new process starting to with music. Everything's changing. Everything's changing rapidly. And I feel a lot of my creative friends, even the ones that I think are doing really well. And then I'll, have lunch with them or coffee or whatever. Everyone's like, man, it's hard right now.
Yeah.
Right. And so but I think the choosing happiness is so important.
Yes.
Like I personally start off every day with gratitude.
Yes.
Just like so grateful for everything I have. And I'm so lucky. I know how lucky I am.
Yes.
And I think it's easy to take for granted anything that you have or you got used to or whatever it is. So I love that about you. And the choosing to smile even through hard times, because it's like, okay, here's Ant. Ant is super happy.
Yeah.
That's great. Is it easy being an artist and a songwriter and working for yourself and generating enough?
I don't think anything is necessarily easy.
It's not.
But no, it's not. To answer that question specifically, hell no, it's not.
Yeah, it's not that just because you're happy, there's not
problems that you deal
difficult
with.
things
Absolutely
happening.
But that's the beauty and the happiness. It's like, oh wow, I find joy in this thing I'm frustrated about.
Yeah.
Not that I'm happy about the thing that I'm frustrated about, but I'm finding me in this area of growth.
Yeah.
Like personally, I get angry a lot, and you might not even know that.
Yeah.
Just from my perception, I'm happy. I'm always happy all the time.
Yeah.
I can go from 0 to 100 without deciding not to feed into that old version of myself.
Yeah.
The version of myself that used to be a chronic liar, a habitual liar, like a person that wouldn't take accountability. Like I'm choosing to put to bed all of the childish things that I used to do.
How do you do that?
You just decide. Like you make the decision to do any and everything that you do, even if it's subconscious. Yeah. So it's like training your brain, training your ears, listening to the things that are only feeding what your purpose is and not necessarily just what is around. In the business we're in, we have to consume a lot of the things that are for us to give out to other people. But if you're not feeding your soul, if you're not feeding your creativity, if you're not feeding yourself, it's like you're just depleting, you're just regurgitating things that this person said that may not be true to you. Yeah. And the how is just doing it. And I know that sounds so cliche and so dismissive, but I think Nike hit it on the head when they figured out that slogan. It was really like, just do it. Like, don't make the excuse, oh, I want to lose weight, then lose weight. Oh, well, I have this. They're all valid things that may be stopping you from getting to where you want to get to. But if you make the decision and lean on your decisions, you can't go wrong.
Right. So number one is being self-aware of whatever it is and really actually listening to yourself. Yeah. And looking at yourself in the mirror and acknowledging the things that you want to change or don't like about yourself or whatever it is. And then number two is just do it. Yeah. Like songwriters get so mad at me when they're like, what do you do to get to the place? And I'm like, I write songs. Yeah. Yeah. And I hate that feeling of someone that comes up to you and feeling like you just dismiss them. Because I felt like that before. Yeah. I've asked people I looked up to for things that were answers that I should have already had or would have found on my journey when I got to a certain place. Yep. As simple as the answer may be, we complicate things all the time. How did you get from one place to the next? With God at the forefront, I worked hard. Yep. And with God and working hard and perseverance, there were a lot of results. Yep. Even more failures. But the failures didn't define the results. I fell in love with the process. Yep. So I fell in love with figuring out something and figuring out a hole and finding a way of filling it. Figuring out a problem and finding a way of solving it. And looking within and seeing what are the real things that are messed up with me. What is the
versions of me that I don't want people to see. How about I change that? So as opposed to it being, I don't want you to see this, it's just, I'm not this. I'm not a liar. I'm not a person that's late. I'm not a person that's plug and play anything. I'm trying my hardest at this point in my life to just be the man that God called me to be.
Yeah.
And I'm making a decision every day to be that person.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Where do you think the lies were coming from? Is it like an insecurity thing? So, and were you able to stop doing that before you got your accomplishments?
Yes and no. It's weird. So I think my sense of truth came from the word. Yeah. And the closer I got to God, I knew who I was. The lie was when I got out of the presence. When I started leaning on my flesh, when I started listening to Instagram tell me what a man should be as opposed to what I know a man should be. When I allowed any outside source define what I thought that I knew. Yeah. And we're human, you know, we give ourselves excuses to do the things that we like to do, even though they may not be the things that we're supposed to do. Yep. So I'm like, well, I don't want to just be a person that is okay with just having the things. I got all the things I ever prayed for. And I lost all the things I ever prayed for. Wow. And I got them again. I watched your interview with James. You know, I watched almost all your interviews. My favorite one was the one you did with James. And absolutely. He talked about people's finding God moment is when like they lose their money. Yeah. I was like, that is so on brand and on point. Absolutely. But what's funny is I look at just that statement and that, you know, that whole cycle of, wow, you was able to kind of be in music and be in a position of seeing this for a while. And you can see, okay, this is what happens when people get it and when they lose it. And this is how they act when they have it and when they don't. And I was told from everybody, when you get your money, you'll be everything you want to be. Yeah. What I forgot to do was to keep praying for and asking God what he wanted me to do with the things that he was blessing me with. Right. Before I got all the resources, I was able to talk to God, get the information, use me as a conduit, and then pass it. Yeah. And the more resources I got, the bigger hoarder I became of the things that God was telling me to let go of. Wow. So it's like, oh, he was blessing me with this. I started hoarding it. I'm holding on to this because many different reasons for I wanted to do this. I want to think like this. I want to be like this. But God called me to let go of the things that he put on my life. So it was me fighting what God called me to do and not allowing myself to be like that person that he wanted me to be at the time. Yeah. It's interesting when I think about all the decisions that I made, the good ones and the bad decisions that got me to the place that I'm at right now. Yeah. And I wouldn't change anything, but I would have a conversation with that Anthony and ask him, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, do you know that your decisions are the things that are the most important things, period?
Like in those moments, were you feeling lost? Mm-hmm. And you found yourself through God.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Like through heartbreak, through disappointments, through many of the things that are just unpleasant. Yeah. You can find your worst version or your best version of yourself. Yeah. It's like I sound like a broken record. It's your decisions. So recently I just went through one of the worst, like I can imagine, heartbreaks of my life. Yeah. Right. And I made the decision to, instead of falling back into old habits and doing the things that I used to take this time to be the person that God called me to be, as opposed to being mad at the person that I wasn't. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Oh, I wish I had this. I wish I could have did this so that maybe this person would have been with me. Yeah. Well, I'm mad that I keep choosing wrong. Yeah. So God, how about you choose for me? I'm mad that I don't have the discernment to know the difference. Right. I'm mad that I keep giving every excuse in the world as to why I look the way I look right now. I was 100 pounds heavier. Yeah. And like, I'm mad at everything. I'm mad at the decision to be mad.
Yeah.
And I did some real growing up. It was like all of the people God's blessed me to be around, not just famous and amazing people, but real family members, real genuine people that care about me.
Yeah.
Like I would do a disservice and a travesty to them to just let them see God bless me in the ways that he did. And then my result is just a guy that was okay, was subpar, that didn't reach for the greatest thing impossible in the world. Just it would be a whole letdown to everyone that God's called to believe in me. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be that.
Yeah. You just lost a bunch of weight. You just said 100 pounds. Was that when you went through the heartbreak? Like
it was
after post breakup?
That was kind of like in the midst of it. But I had kind of made the decision before that because I just wanted to be a husband. Yeah. And I still want to be a husband. Yeah, so it's like I wanted to be in the position so that when I received the wife that God called me to have, I was there. And I was the man he called me to be. And I wasn't ready. Yeah. I wasn't ready when I thought I was ready. I wasn't ready when I said, hey, I want to be in this relationship. I wasn't the version of me that I was supposed to be. And I learned right there that I just told myself, I never want to be the reason for anything else that I'm not getting. That's just it. And although the heartbreak came in the midst of my change, it was more affirmation than anything. It was like, oh, okay, well, my heart's only broken because I gave it to something that I didn't give to God first. Yeah. I'm like, hey, if I would have brought this relationship to the Lord, maybe it would have went differently. But I thank God for that relationship because it's like before my last relationship, I was in a crazy depression. Like the world's worst depression I can imagine. Really? And it was, long story less long, I'll give the full story a little later, but in 2022, I went through a crazy life experience, like really, really crazy. And it showed me that, one, God had always been in charge and always has placed the people in a position so that even when you're off your path and you go through the world's worst times, he uses that and shapes it into what could be the greatest thing in the world. Yeah. So I look at what happened to me in 2022 as just what I thought was the worst thing, God's turned into my testimony. Wow. Like, so I'm living from that mistake and that experience. I came out of it. I was in a crazy depression. Yeah. And then after the depression, it was really the decisions. It was like, I was tired of being tired. Yeah. I was tired of being mad at God. I was tired of being mad at myself. I talked to the Lord and said, yo, I'm done. He was like, I've been here waiting for you the whole time. Yeah. And every day it's been a wake up, make the decision that this is going to be the greatest day that is possibly going to be. I'm thankful for where I'm at, and I'm anticipating where I'm getting ready to go. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, dude, good on you for getting past it.
Well, thank you.
I mean, are you talking about it or are you not talking about it?
Well, I've talked about it in the music. Okay. So that's the beautiful thing. Okay,
so nice.
That actually segues us perfectly into where I've been at for a little while. Yeah. So for 3 years, life has been life. Yeah. And by the grace of God, I have a daughter, and she's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Her name is Jamie Aaliyah Clemons. Amazing. I love her. Her mom is the greatest in the world. Like, and we figured out that this is our mission in the world. It's like, oh wow, we kind of created something really, really, really dope. Yeah. Like really, really cool. And this person, I can't wait for her to be everything that God's called her to be. Yeah. So outside of being a dad and finding my purpose in that, I've been working on the greatest music I've ever made in my life. Amazing. Ever. And I worked on an album when I found out that she was coming. Yeah. And I worked relentlessly on that album. So you figure it's 2024. I've been working on that project for 4 years. Wow. Right. And I wanted to have something to give to my daughter when she was like of age to say, hey, this is what your dad does for a living. Yeah. and I was shopping it around to different labels and trying to figure it out. And the same issue just kept coming up left and right. Yeah, the music is cool, but we don't know who Ant Clemons is. And I've heard that a few times in my career, and it's the gut punch. Excuse me. It's the thing that's like, well, what do you mean? Oh, we know your songs. We know, your voice sort of, but we don't really know who you are as a person. And I sat with that for a little bit. I had a real conversation with my manager, Donnie Meadows, and I love him to death. And I was so mad when he told me about me. Like he sat me down, he said, hey, you got comfortable. You're in a great place right now by the grace of God, but it's like you got comfortable doing the things that you're doing, and you're not really pressing yourself to be the best you.
Wow.
I want to hear that guy that I saw at 38 Jackson Street, like that came to the studio in Philly with nothing. That would take 2 buses to get over here and wouldn't make any excuses to make the beat, write the song, dance, sing, do the cover. Where's he at?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, when someone sees you, it's like, oh, damn. And I had to eat that for a little bit. I was like, man, you know what? You're right. Like I haven't been doing all the things that I fell in love with before coming into the thing that I do that I love, And that's one of the things that helped me a lot too recently is just falling in love with the process. I dance. I love singing. I love like drawing. I'm doing all the things I used to love to do all over again. But just through that process and that conversation, I worked on this new album in between the one that I was working on for 4 years. That is my unapologetically honest truth. Like, this is just who Anthony is.
That's awesome.
That album is coming very, very soon.
Great. Yeah, because I was wondering, because I was like, you write for a bunch of people, huge fucking artist. You drop one album, get a Grammy nomination, and then I was
Hill, baby, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I was like, where's the next album, bro?
So yeah,
4 years. Well, that's where it is. It's been in the making. As you've also been like
living life.
Yeah, and raising a girl and everything. It's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's amazing, dude. Wow. Okay, so it's coming.
Music's coming.
There's an album coming on the way.
The beautiful thing is, what I've been doing every Tuesday is just dropping a song on SoundCloud from my catalog.
Oh, nice.
So like, I'm letting it be known here, but normally I wanted it to just be a thing where my fans found my music. Like, oh wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But go to SoundCloud, Ant Clemons unreleased songs, but they released unreleased
every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you were going through that, were you still working with other people?
Every day.
Yeah. So and are you still putting on the smile?
The craziest part is putting the smile on in the midst of your craziest lows.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was being fake. I thought it was being, and I think that it's being proactive for how you want to be.
Yeah.
So when I do smile, I love the feeling. Even if I don't feel like smiling, oh wow, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So in those times where I was dealing with a lot of the things I was dealing with depression and any of the other things, it was just put on that smile and don't let the world see the thing that's eating you alive. Be the person you want to be. Yeah. And that got me to a cool place in my career. But I'm at the place now where I'm always going to smile because it's the thing that I love to do, but I'm honest and open to let people know when I'm not in the best moods. It's well, things are a little rough right now. Yeah. I'm okay with saying no to things. Like, it was weird. It's like my career is doing this and my personal was doing this. And like, I was trying to find my way in the midst of it. Yeah. I found that in the midst of it, that's what it is. Yeah. Maybe in a few years, I'll come back with a different perspective. Yeah. But just as of right now, I feel that life will always be life. Yeah. And the music industry will always be the music industry. And it's not necessarily what these things are, it's what you give your attention to. Yeah. And how you view it.
So you said, I want to be a husband. Mm-hmm. Do you think, was it you getting lost in that desire of trying to be a husband?
100%. Yeah. It was, I made that my everything. Yeah. I was like, I want to be a husband more than I want to be the child of God that I am. And it was weird. It was like, yo, I wanted this thing, and I wasn't even ready to be a boyfriend.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It's
I
had a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah.
And it's just, I've been growing up.
I can relate to that a lot. I've been, as my friends, and Christian knows this, a lot of my best friends have all had kids in the last couple of years, and I'm like, come on, man. I'm in and out of these relationships.
Don't you? Here's what I'll tell you. You wait.
Yeah.
You wait right now. Jamie and Leah is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
But you wait right now.
Yeah.
You wait until it's your time, because it's
absolutely,
because children are the greatest blessing, and they bring something else out of you that's like, but it calls you to be a different level person.
For sure.
I wish there were words to describe how much I love who I am because of my daughter.
Yeah,
like,
that's beautiful.
You can't even put it into words. Like, she makes me a better person just because I know that I want to be the best example for her.
Yes.
Like, every day.
That's the best inspiration. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you, brother.
That's huge.
Thank you.
And congrats on being back into the ant that you feel is where you want to be.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's easy to get off track, man. It happens. Life happens. Shit happens. Your mind goes places.
Yes.
You got to bring your mind back to where you want it to be.
Absolutely.
So congrats on you for doing that. It's really hard to do.
Thank you, brother.
And I could talk to you about love and all this for hours.
Well, let's get into music. What we doing?
Let's go back to music, because I'm sure people are like, come on, man.
Come on, talk about... Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody.
So 2017. No. So 2019, Sunday service. I want to go there before we get into all the working with all these huge artists and everything. But like, so yeah, what was how did you end up there in Sunday service with Kanye?
So how'd I end up in Sunday service?
Or I guess if that
it's a puzzle piece, but
of course.
Let's start at All Mine.
Yeah.
So the song All Mine comes out, and by the grace of God,
with Kanye,
I'm singing
and
the hook
singing on it
with Dolla Sign, and my brother Jeremiah and Bongo, by the way, and Scott. We all worked on the song together. So we all did the song, and fast forward to, this was June 1st when it came out. So fast forward to about the middle of September, I get a call randomly.
Of 2018?
2018.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Ye's working on some stuff. Need you to come out to Chicago. It's like a week before my birthday. And I'm like, I got birthday plans, but I'm like, this is Ye. I'm not trying to miss this. So I went out to Chicago, and it was the greatest thing in the world. Like, I was there with Ye and Chance the Rapper, and we was working on music, and one thing led to the next, and Ye was so inspired. He's like, yo, we should work on an album named Yandhi. And I'm like, let's go, brother. Let's figure this out. And we're working diligently on it. We went to Africa, and it was amazing. Like, amazing. It's like life-changing experience just being in Africa, working with one of the people I've grew up listening to my entire life.
For sure. Straight from Chicago?
Yes. Like, it was...
Wait, how did you get that call to even go to Chicago?
It was from Chicago. It was...
Was All Mine before that?
All Mine was before that. It was All Mine, then the Tiana Taylor album, and then he was just working with Chance in Chicago. So he's like, hey, I need Ant. We started working on songs, and those songs turned into an album called Yandhi. Yeah. And that was some of the best times of my life. I remember just like being hella excited working with Chance, Kanye, and any and everybody else that he was calling to the studio. Ty, Thug. I met amazing people at that time, and it was just amazing. And from there, I didn't hear from Ye for a little bit. It was like we went to Africa, and after Africa, I kind of went to Miami with my little sister.
And what'd you do in Africa?
We worked on music.
Yeah.
We went out there and just worked
Where
on
in Africa?
Uganda.
Nice.
It was amazing. And we worked on the Yandhi album, and we just kept working on
music. How was the studio in Uganda?
He built one. He made well, there was one on the Nile River that like I don't know if it's a regular studio, but he put a studio on the Nile and it was amazing. So we were working there, and then he built these big domes in nature in Uganda, and we were just working in the middle of like nature. As nature's happening around us, we're just in these domes going, working, figuring it out.
Wow.
It was... How
many people?
Maybe about 10 people.
Yeah.
Total. Like 10, 11 people, his family's there. It was just, it was the greatest time in the world.
Wow.
Left there, went to Miami with my little sister. I was like, look, I just want to be around my family right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I got a call from Ye's team. They're like, hey, come to the studio. Ye's there with Timberland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is Timberland.
Yeah.
And
this is back in LA?
This
or
is
in Miami?
In Miami.
Right.
This is around December 20. It was
18.
right before. Yeah, 2018.
Yeah.
going on 2019.
Yep.
So I'm playing Timberland some songs. He's like, yo, Ye said you was his favorite artist. I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
yeah, that's
wow,
crazy.
this is okay. He's like, send me some stuff. I sent him a song. Sidebar mission story. That song ended up turning into 4-letter word.
Wow.
Like the record that me and him have on Happy to Be Here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Timbo. And Angel and Fetty and all my guys. Come on, roommates. Y'all my brothers. So at that time, I was just happy that Kanye was talking about me. I'm like, this is incredible. And I didn't hear from him from December to about the end of January. I get a call middle of January from my boy Ray from the Stereotypes. He's like, yo, he wants you to come on down. He's working on some stuff, some choir stuff. Just, pull up. And I'm like, okay. And we were repurposing the songs that we worked on for the Yandhi album through just this new space that he was in, where we were turning all the songs into making sure they all had the glory of God in them. Wow. And I was like, oh, what? You done stumbled into praise and worship with Kanye West for real, the guy that made Jesus Walks. Like you walking with the guy that made, okay, let's go. Let's figure this out. Yeah. And man, that one phone call, damn, it changed my whole life again. Wow. And it's like every week I'm just up there trying to help however I can. And Ye just had me assisting with the choir and just kind of being right there in the front so he could talk to or just allow me to worship in my way. Yeah. And never told me to take my hat off. Well, he told me to take it off when at Coachella. But outside of that, it was like, nah, this is his hat. He was standing up for it.
You're the only little flash of color.
You're the only one that has the hat. He always wears his hat. So it's like, keep your hat on.
That's awesome.
And love him to death. Love him to death.
Was that you meeting Jason White?
Yes.
Nice.
Man, Jason White. Can we talk about how amazing Jason White is?
Of course we can. Yeah.
Like, he is phenomenal. Gave me so much confidence in my ability to be the singer that I've always wanted to be. Yeah. And he worked with me a lot on the solos that I ended up having. So it was hella cool to watch somebody that's been in the game for years and has the respect that he has, like, do the thing that he does at the high level. Yeah. And it's just a cool, like, it's a cool thing to see. Yeah. It's like, man, you're a cool cat that, like, does this and people respect you for the thing that you do.
For sure. Yeah. Jason White, the choir director for Sunday service and a bunch of others.
The GOAT.
Like, so much stuff.
Absolutely.
The best. Yeah. And especially in those days of Sunday service, it was like Jason with the choir and like you in the middle. Mm-hmm.
Just go like around. This.
Phil Cornish.
Phil, go, come on. My brother, absolutely. One of the most pivotal parts of Sunday service. Absolutely. Phil, Ray, it's like, it's too many names to count. Nikki Greer, the GOAT. Like, she is phenomenal. She's actually one of my favorite people ever.
She's amazing.
Nikki and I did a song with for Susan Carroll, and amazing. I love Nikki to death.
Yeah, Nikki's the best.
Yes.
God, what an all-star squad, man.
Amazing cast of people around, and we praised the Lord together for a long time, and it was a lot of fun. Like, so my chops in the music industry, as far as like performance chops and just going tour to tour from city to city, was with Kanye West praising the Lord at different churches. Yeah. Like,
and I don't think people didn't realize how spontaneous is the word.
That's a great word. That is a great word.
Spontaneous Sunday service was the whole time. Like, is this happening again ever? Tomorrow, next week, whatever.
Maybe. It's like you never know.
Oh, it's in Detroit tomorrow.
It's like, wait, today is Friday? Friday? Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Mm-hmm. It seems like that's, I mean, I feel like I know you've been everywhere with Kanye. Like, last time I saw you, I hadn't seen you in a minute. Mm-hmm. This was a few times ago when I saw you at Verse.
Yes.
I was like, what's up, man? Where you been? You're just like, I don't need everywhere with Kanye. And I knew you were in Saudi Arabia because you were at my homie's house in Saudi Arabia. Yes. All the good people in Saudi, we love you.
We love you.
All the homies.
Yes.
I respect how much the Saudis keep it private.
Yes.
It's so opposite of what we do as Americans.
It inspired me so much. I was like,
it's amazing.
a lot of my favorite musicians growing up were private.
Yeah.
Like all the people I looked up to were just, they kept their personal life, and then their career.
Yeah.
And when I went out to Saudi Arabia, I was like, oh, this is how I want to operate. To a certain degree, it's like I want to take some of these things that I see here and just implement it in my life. The structure, the focus, the family time, the family values.
The family values is amazing. The privacy, the close circles.
Yes.
It's not flexing.
Not at all.
It's not, you can have lavishness, but it's not.
But it ain't flexing. It's just, this is what we got.
You got to be in to see it.
Yes.
And even then, it's still not coming from that place.
Right.
It's not coming from a flex place.
No, this is like, we've been blessed to have these things, and then we want to share them with you.
Yeah.
I want to share.
I'll be there, and it's like, Ant was here with Ty and Kanye. I was like, what? What kind of small world is this, dude? Where I'm like at a house in Saudi Arabia, like Ant was just here with Ty. Like, and I saw Ty with you the other day too, and I was like, and I was like, yo, Ty, I was just at the homie's house. He's like, oh yeah, it's like we're in this like little circle.
Who knows? It's like we can't really tell anybody.
I saw Post Malone a couple weeks ago, and I was like, Post, 3 days ago, I was at so and so's house at Saudi. He was like, bro, take me back. Because him and I were at his house together, and it's awesome. Like such a small. Oh,
I love him.
Such a small world. Dude,
Post is hella cool too. By the way,
Post is hella cool.
One of the nicest people I got a chance to work with.
Just a real ass guy. Just a person, just a nice person.
Genuine person. But that's how I feel about Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah,
like 100%. It's like, there are real people, it's real niggas, and then there's real nigga people. Like, Ty is a real nigga person. He's the greatest type of friend you can have. He's the coolest type of person you can like look at from afar and be like, okay, cool, this is what they're doing. And he also gives the advice too. Yeah, it's like, I fuck with Ty. My guys is like Ty and James. Those are my 1 and 2. In no order. It's just James Fauntleroy is the GOAT, you know, and I look up to him so much.
Absolutely.
And guys like that show me you can be normal people that are, abnormal people, but live abnormal lives normally, is what I was trying to say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Super, I feel like has that Saudi vibe, but it's private or whatever. Is J Pope.
Yes. 100%. My dog.
Super accomplished, super cool, super
out the way.
Everyone out the way.
Helps everybody. And he takes a lot of nonsense, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's unfair, but it's hella cool to know that it's people like you and people like me that love and appreciate and can see how amazing Che is. He's amazing. I fuck with Che.
Absolutely. So yeah, one day we got to go to Saudi together.
Yes. No, you got to tell me twice. They're waiting for me to come back. I love Saudi. Like,
it's cool. Yeah. I just brought Manny Marquand out there.
Oh, come on, Manny. The GOAT. Yes. Come on.
We went out there, had a great time.
He probably lost it out there.
Yeah, he loved it.
Yes.
And they loved it. It's great. He's another one that's has the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. Keeps it cool. You won't even know.
There's no plaques even at his studio.
But it's the studio. And it's like, he's the guy that you want to go to and be like. So a lot of the people I look up to move in that way. They move very professional. You won't know unless you know.
Yeah.
But they're loving and caring and giving people.
Yeah.
100% of the time.
It's a weird balance though, I think, for us as the Chase and the Mannies. They've already they're there already. Right?
Yes.
So then for you and I in our 30s, growing, and we're professionals, you know, but we're we have way more goals that we want to achieve. Not that they all do too,
but I know
of
what you
course.
mean, yep.
But we're also a different generation. They're 15 years older than us or whatever, 10 years or whatever. So it's like, in the modern day world, how do you balance achievements, wanting to show your achievements because you show you achievements, hoping that you then get more opportunities to achieve more on that creative entrepreneurial journey, but to not be cocky.
It's one word I've been using recently is called Godfidence, right? So,
Godfidence.
Yeah. So as opposed to arrogance or the opposite of arrogance, I think is just making sure you have your God level confidence. My Godfidence is in this. It's like I walk into rooms confident in the thing that God called me to do.
Wow.
When you have a support system of people that already celebrate you, you don't necessarily need the wins from the world. So I just changed my mind from, yes, the likes will help my business and will help me get more opportunities.
Yeah. But
the things that I get fulfilled with that are the real accomplishments, I don't want to share them with people that don't know who Anthony Clemons Jr. is.
Right.
It's like I want people that know and would genuinely be happy for me to know the things that I'm doing and the wins or the losses, or, you know.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But there's also this other side of it where, as an entrepreneur that's responsible for eat what you kill in terms of the money that you have, is just based off the opportunities that you get and how do you create new opportunities. And Barbara Walters famously said, if you're going to do something, scream it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I released an album, whatever it is, you know, like, so I guess like doing that, you have to scream it from the rooftops, or else no one's ever going to hear anything you do.
I don't think you have to do it.
So you have other people do it.
Yes, that's what I believe.
Well, that's what Brent says.
I believe
as the best form of PR.
I believe hands down, the person that screams they're the best is far from being the best. If they believe it, cool, and they possibly can be the best.
Not screaming, I'm the best. That's not what I'm saying.
No, not even the best. Just screaming like, this is what I'm doing. This is the
this
idea.
Is my art, or this is
who I'm. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nobody that tells me they're an artist.
Right. I am an artist.
I want to tell you, hey, you're an artist.
Yeah.
I want to go, hey, no, I think you're this. If I come up to you and I tell you, hi, I am the whatever I want to call myself. It's up to you to decide if that's true or not.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to answer your question is just having people talk for me.
Yeah.
Like, people tell me who I am. My favorite wrestler growing up is The Rock. And The Rock wasn't the best just because he said he was the best.
Yeah.
He was the best because the people said that he was the champ. He was the people's champ. And it's like the people decide your greatness and your thing. Yes, you got to be confident in the thing that you do.
Yeah.
You don't let nobody talk down on it, but you don't have to be your own mouthpiece all the time. Word of mouth, to me, I feel like is the best marketing strategy. Anything. I find way more things from word of mouth than from the direct person.
Right.
9 times out of 10, I'm not listening to anything that someone tells me to listen to.
Right.
Unless it's from a trusted source.
Yeah.
It's from somebody I care about. So yeah, it's that. It's having you and James, going back to y'all interview because I loved it so much. Y'all talked about the TED Talk that I'm losing the name. The guy had on what it takes to be a leader. Yeah. I studied that TED Talk. Yeah. And what it takes to be a leader is not focusing on the things, from what I took from it, is not focusing on the things that you can't change, but presenting your change backwards. Starting with the problem and giving all the different ways that your solution lines up with that. Yeah. Okay, this is the problem. These are the things. This is how I'm going to attack it. Mm-hmm. You screaming, I'm going to change this. Once you do or don't do that change, you're held to just what you said. Yeah. You put it into action with the words that you say, and you judge it off that. That is how I look at a lot of things. Mm-hmm. I feel like I just overly complicated something simple, but I said a lot of words just to say, F all that shit, figure this shit out. Yeah.
So you mentioned trust right now.
Yes.
So you've worked with so many huge artists now. You got like big songs with Camila Cabello and Beyoncé, H.E.R, of course, all that work, and then of course all the Ty and Ye and all that stuff. So Justin Timberlake, it's like the list is stacked, bro. Yes, in these 5 years.
Well, thank you.
So clearly, people really resonate with you, right? So and they trust you, right? Especially with Ye being a complex person. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of spontaneity. Yeah. So how do you build trust with all these collaborators? I
try to be as honest as I can be. Yeah. All the time. I try to be unapologetically honest. Yeah. Trust is a earned thing. So I used to operate in a space where I give everybody my trust, and I sometimes still operate like that, but it's an earned thing. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily something that everybody gets access to. It's just, you got to show and prove. Yeah. And I show up as me everywhere I go. So I am blessed to have the ability to see what people are missing, and assist in that. I like to think of myself as an alchemist, like somebody that can take nonsense and turn it into gold. And give me not nonsense, but just things that may not make full phonetic sense, and just bring it into something. And we're all alchemists. We turn
wouldn't that be
nothing
more
into
producer?
something. Yeah.
More producer than songwriter in that sense?
But that's why I get so with titles, because I started producing before I started songwriting.
Yeah.
I was an engineer because I didn't have somebody to record me. So I know how to produce, songwrite, engineer, do all of it. Mm-hmm. Wherever you find me is where you find me at.
Yeah.
So yes, it absolutely is production, but it's like songwriting is producing, engineering is producing.
So why on earth, dude? Mm-hmm. We're talking off camera right now about producers, songwriters, engineers, everyone that's in the room. Everyone's getting paid except the songwriter.
Right.
Why?
So songwriters are the last people to see money in a session. And it's because the engineer's getting paid, the producer's getting paid, the assistant of the engineer is getting paid. Everyone in the room is getting paid that day in some form or fashion, except for the songwriter, who has to wait 9 months till after the song performs that has been released. So why is it a thing? I believe it's from the old music industry and their old models that preceded way before I was even born.
Yeah.
But it's not right. Publishing is amazing. And publishing is dope when you're in a space where you can get the proper amount of publishing that you deserve. But just like anything else, it's you come into something with nothing. They give you little. You work your way up to having what you feel like you're owed. And every case is different. You can write a song where I wrote all the song. I wrote the 50% if I'm doing a hip hop and R&B song where it's 50% on the production side and 50% on the writing of the record. I wrote 50% of the song. Yeah, but the producer just put a sample on the song. So cool, but now you got to eat off of the sample that just took 100% of the record.
Oh my God!
And
that's
the producer
crazy.
got paid that day. The engineer got paid that day. The person that changed the lights in the studio got paid that day.
The studio itself
got paid that day. But the songwriter,
runners got paid.
The runners, literally the Uber driver that got you in the car to get you to the studio got paid from you. Like it's all of it. But the songwriter, the person that's doing the thing that you're asking them to do that you can't do, doesn't get anything.
Why isn't it changed now?
I think people listening and still living in the old model and the old way of doing things is a reason why it hasn't changed. But I like to look at myself as a person that's proactive towards the change. So the deals I do, the sessions that I do are in a space that's more songwriter friendly. Like I'm blessed to be around people that value songwriters, that care and take care of the songwriters that take care of them. But not everybody is blessed to be in a position that I'm in. And I worked 7 years now to get to a place of, wow, I've been in LA for 7 years and I have this whole contact list of people that I can reach out to and get my rate, get my fee. I can get the things that I've earned because of the longevity I've had in a career thus far. But not everybody has this. Not every songwriter comes in with a long list of people they've worked with. And it's just not fair across the board. Like, it's just not fair that you have to prove yourself to a point beyond belief to where you can make ends meet. That's why publishing companies come into place and they're so amazing at first, because it's like, hey, we see the problem, so we'll throw money at you to fix this problem, but it causes a bigger problem when you're giving money to people that don't know how to manage money. But that's the game. It's, hey, we're going to give you a little bit. Then you figure out exactly what it is that you're doing with your life, and it's maturity. It's like, oh, you got some growing up to do because you didn't know what was in your deals or whatever. But it's a predatory business, and it's. I don't want to blame the publishers. I don't want to blame the labels. I don't want to blame anybody that I don't have a direct finger I could point at. But I'll say that the whole system itself is just messed up. It was never designed for us to win.
For sure. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But why today still? In this modern day world where we have a lot of amazing people running the industry now, or running big parts of the industry, from like Evan Bogart or Harvey Mason Jr. or Carrie Ann Marshall or like Ron Perry, or these are brilliant people that have been songwriters. I wonder why it hasn't changed yet.
It's a case by case thing.
And also, it's not like I'm you know,
You're asking me for the answer of the. It's like,
I know, but I just wonder. I mean, I'm not a songwriter, right? So this isn't a problem that directly affects me. It directly affects me because I'm friends with a ton of songwriters.
Yeah.
Like, you know, or I care because I'm friends with a lot of songwriters, and it seems fair. But it's like, and I'm friends with all those people I just named, and those are all brilliant people that I love and respect. So that's why I'm just like, who passionately do care about it, and like all these great people pushing for songwriter rights, and like now songwriter of the year being at the Grammys.
yes.
Being recognized, songwriters getting credits on album of the year. So like there's all these steps
Towards it.
positive steps towards it, which is great that all these people are doing the hard work
Yes.
to do. But like, why? I mean, wouldn't a $500 session fee be acceptable even?
That's what I would think.
You know, it's not about paying $5,000 or
$500 for somebody's day rate sounds appropriate to me.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's not for me to say what appropriate is and what
I just
isn't.
wonder why it can't happen. Unless it just gets blocked at the top from like the Lucians or the whoever's at the top.
I'm not sure. I think it's a case by case study. I think it's a hey, if I have this relationship with you and you know where I'm at financially, and I'm asking you because one, my worth is what my worth is, but then I'm asking you because this is what should be done right for not just me, but just the whole pie. If we're looking at a song that we all worked on and everyone else here is making money and is able to take care of their family today, why is it that I'm not? Oh, that's because that's how it was. And that why makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm being told the same answer that I don't understand. Oh, that's how it was. Everything is the way it is. Well, how come we can't change it?
Yeah.
Well, I get around people that don't move like that. That's how I change it.
Yeah.
I change it by only going to sessions where my rate is given.
Yes.
And it's weird because it's a balance between going to sessions that I need for life and then stuff that fulfills me, stuff that I was put on this earth I feel like to make. So it's weird, it's challenging, but it's the songwriter challenge. It's like we're burdened and blessed to be able to help out and then just get overlooked every time. Like, the idea of a ghostwriter is crazy in 2024 when credits and everything are on Spotify. Like, people are real human beings. Like, hi, I'm not a ghost. I'm Ann Clemons. You know what I mean? And I've written for almost everybody. Yeah. And I'm not here to scream what I've done. It's just, I'm happy to be here. Yeah. I've done some cool things. I would like to be acknowledged for the things that I've done. But if that never comes, that's not what I was doing it for. I was doing it because the Lord called me to share this gift that he gave me. Yeah. And that's really it. Yeah.
I want to talk about predictions, but I wanted to touch on a couple other things first.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite songs that I at least know that you wrote, because I know there's tons that I don't even know.
I love that. Yes.
One of my favorite songs that I know you wrote was Damage.
Oh, wow.
By her.
Yes.
Like, oh, dude, I remember when that song first came out. And I was just like, oh, that melody, and it's just so beautiful.
Thank you.
It must have been awesome to be a part of that.
Yes, it was one of the coolest songs I've ever been a part of.
What is the Aunt Clemons like? Like, what would you say? I know you do everything, but like, what is like? Is there a special thing that Aunt Clemons does most?
It depends on the day.
Is it melody, or is it the pen?
I wouldn't even give you that. It's it's. I do it all. So it's like, I love doing melody. I love concepts. Yeah. I love singing. Yeah. It's whatever the job calls for, I'm that. With Damage specifically, it was like,
what was that session like? Or
it was hella cool. Nice. It was just after I found out I was on the Beyoncé album. Nice. Shout out my boy Mike Uzi and all the amazing people that made that happen. The Lion King song I ended up doing is called Move Forever. And it was so much fun. So I left the studio. Left this movie premiere I had went to. That sounds crazy. Thank God. I went to this movie premiere and then went to the session.
The Beyonce movie premiere.
And after I got to the session, I'm losing it. I'm like, oh, I got the song on Beyonce. And like, her is one of my favorite people to work with, period. Like, she's super professional and excellent at what she does. Yeah. Like, to the 10th degree. So I walk into her, Tierra Thomas, and my brother Cardiac. They already had a phenomenal, like, the beat was already going. So I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I'm like losing my mind, jumping up and down off the walls just because I'm like, I got a Beyonce song. So this is what? And then we hear the music. And my favorite thing with singing and just writing songs is how are you going to dance to it?
Yeah.
Because I love dancing. My mom's a dancer. Like, we love dancing. That's my favorite things. So I'm like, oh, I kind of want to like Mary J on this. Like, oh, we should do the Mary to this. And it's like that perspective, at least for me, and like the little small piece I played in the song, it was so cool just being able to be a part of something that was one of the best R&B songs to this date.
Yeah.
Like, man, like you put that song on anytime and people age like from 10 to about 87 can find a part in there that just gets them. And I love it. It feels like the true R&B I grew up listening to. And shout out to every single person that was a part of that record. Like Cardiac from Willingboro, New Jersey. My boy. Like
another New Jerseyan?
Yes, another Willingboro, New Jersey.
Oh, nice.
Like specifically, it's just so amazing to have a relationship and a song in the world with Cardiac.
Yeah.
T.R. Thomas is one of the greatest songwriters I got a chance to work with. Yeah. And I already gave you my amazing praises for her, but I can talk about how amazing she is like all day long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's cool that you get called in to even just show up to the session.
But I can't forget my brother.
Yeah.
My brother from another mother, Jeff effing Giddy.
Jeff Giddy, dude.
Yes.
Love Jeff.
Love Jeff. Love everybody that was a part of that record. And like, man, that song changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song, it changed a lot of people's lives.
Yes.
Yeah. Love that song so much. All right. So yeah, I would love to talk about some predictions.
Okay.
As you know, we mentioned that it's a crazy state right now, right? Music's changing, industry's changing. And there's things that need to change also, like we were talking about payments, and, both getting paid sooner and also the session fees and whatever. But so where do you think that music is going in the next 5 years?
Well, it's already moving from what I imagined, from just being the thing that is like not valued at what it used to be, to something that people are kind of cherishing a little bit more. Like they're appreciating music now more, I believe, than in the past 5 years, where it was so disposable, where songs were just made specifically for social media platforms. It's like, I think we're getting back to the space of great songs. And in 5 years from now, with the work of myself and a whole bunch of other like-minded, amazing individuals, prayerfully the music industry will be in a way better place, like in a way more user-friendly place, a place where the people that are a part of it don't feel like they're being taken advantage of from it.
Yep.
And where the consumer that may not even know they're the consumer, like, because the music industry is just so illustrious, or it's the place I want to know everything about, and because it's the thing, maybe we get to a place where the consumer is still a consumer, like, and where it's just we're giving you the product and they're receiving it, as opposed to trying to be manufacturers in the thing. So prayerfully we'll get to a place where it starts to make a little more sense. Yeah.
What are your thoughts and feelings towards music AI and all these platforms coming out?
I haven't figured it all the way out yet.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel necessarily. I feel like with more information, I'll be able to give a better, like, educated, like, answer. But if I'm going just off feelings, I think it's corny.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's dismissive. So it's like, that's me feeling like it's corny from lack of information.
Right.
Like, and I don't want to just stand on that perspective. But yeah, I think it's cool. It's a novelty trick right now. Right. But I think in a few years, with given the proper people in place, it'll be everything and more that people talk about it being.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You're not using any of the tools?
I try not to.
Yeah, try not to.
I try not to personally, but I'm not ignorant or naive that, there'll be a time in my career where I may have to use or get integrated with this technology.
Yeah.
But for the music that I'm making and the space that I'm in right now, I like analog stuff. I like stuff that feels as true to form as it used to. Yeah. And although we're in a digital age with everything, I love stuff that's not digital. Yeah, absolutely. So I try to be versed in everything, but my go-to is just analog stuff. Yeah. What about your collabs with Justin Timberlake? He's the greatest in the world. I love Justin. I feel like I would love to hang with the two of you. Yeah, for real. Would be a vibe. It's so much fun. Like, he's just as cool as you can imagine him being, like, as a human. Yeah. He's 10 times cooler. Yeah. Like, he's just the coolest big bro that you could, like, ever ask for. How did that relationship happen? Universal. Thank God for UNPG. Thank God for UNPG. And during the pandemic, I told them I want to work with Justin Timberlake. And by the grace of God, they made that thing happen. That's dope. They put me on a Zoom call with Justin. It was like, hey, working on music, and I'd love to work with you. I couldn't believe it. I showed him my NSYNC dolls that were in my house. I was like, I have NSYNC dolls, like all of them. He ended up signing one of them a little bit later, which was just the greatest thing in the world. They put you on Zoom with Justin Timberlake? Mm-hmm. The world's amazing. Were you like, hey? What's ironic is, fast forward a few years after that initial meeting, we're performing for Joe Biden on Zoom. On Zoom, because it was during the pandemic. Yeah, that weird ass time. It was different. Who are some of your favorite people besides like her and Justin Timberlake that you love like collaborating with that it just feels natural? James Fauntleroy. Oh yeah, James. That's it. It's like, not that's it. That sounds so dismissive because that's all. It's everybody. Yeah, no, it's like if I'll be here for a long time talking about all the people I like to work with. Man, so on your one album, on your one album, you got hella collabs on there, bro. Yeah. Heavy collabs, bro. Got Pharrell on there. Yes, the GOAT. Timbaland, Ty. Yes, like, the GOATs. What do you think? Like, because I think a lot of people want to they want to have collabs on their album. Like, what is a tip you could give to an artist or a producer, songwriter that's trying to get collabs on an album? Be the best version of you could be, and being straight up and being honest with your intentions. Yeah. Like when I met Ty, I was there to assist. Yeah. I didn't come into working with Ty knowing I have a song and I want you to be on the song. It genuinely happened where I had got a record after having a relationship, and he's like, yeah, I'll do a song with you. Yeah. The Timberland song, I met Timberland, sent him a record. He sent it back with drums on it. I'm losing my mind. I have Timberland drums on a song of mine. Like, I can't believe this. Yeah. And specifically Pharrell, who is one of my favorite people in the world. Like, having Pharrell tell you that you're great is a different level of just confidence boosting. It's like, God. Oh, okay, cool. You think you Mr. Happy? Okay, cool. For real? Okay, cool. He's the greatest. And Pharrell heard the song that I was working on. He's like, yeah, I'll hop on it. And actually did it the next day after he had invited me to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Like, to go see the Super Bowl when it was in Miami. And I was like, this life that I get blessed to live is the greatest in the world. It's so awesome, dude. But to answer your question, the advice I would give is to just be the help, be the person, be the fix to the problem, be the intangible item. Yeah. Like, a lot of people don't know exactly what it is that I do in studios. Like, I wear many hats. So I'm intangible. You wear one hat. I wear one hat, but many hats. You wear one hat. You do not wear many hats. I've known you for years. Well, I became an intangible person. I became the person that's like, I don't know what it is about you. Yeah. I believe it's the Lord, but that's just my belief. You could say bag of tricks, one hat. One hat. That's it. I like bag that. Of tricks, bag of tricks, like a magician, one hat. And like, yes, I'm not sure what it is about you, but I need you around. It's become the fix to the problems that people have. I think a lot of it is your energy. Your energy is really special. Thank you. Yeah. That means the world. Yeah, for sure, man.
Well, we can we'll end the pod here, but we're going to text.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to talk because I
Yes.
want to talk about. We're going to go deep about this love
Yes.
situation, bro.
Yes.
We're both lovers.
Yes, lovers of love.
Man, we're lovers of love,
Yeah.
dude, and that'll
It happens. It'll do it to you.
takes a lot of mental thought.
100%.
100%, bro. Well, Aunt Clemons, thanks for coming by.
Well, thank you for having me.
The one and only.
I'm happy to be here.
The man with the bag full of tricks, but one hat.
Go with Elmo.
I love that.
Much love, bro.
My brother.
Go with Elmo. 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 Go with Elmo.
This is the stuff, man.